Hey everybody, how are you doing? I am busy posting a Instagram update for those people on Instagram that want to join us here live once I work out how Instagram works, something like that. Who knows? Nice to be back with you. Dancing. Oh, look how my hair does not look particularly blue. It was not permanent hair dye, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. Uh, but maybe we should do I should do different renditions of Dancing in the Moonlight, complete with hair dye changes. I'll change my hair color. Da, 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 da. Zanati, hi, is that how I pronounce your name? Welcome all the way from France. What I'm trying to keep up with time zones because we will do another from Mexico, Chrono 1894. Hey, how's it going? We will do another Ask Me Anything session. I might even put it in this week where I will pick a time that makes it a little bit easier. Awooga! All right, hey Matt, how's it going? I will pick a time that makes it a little bit more sensible for those of you, perhaps from the UK, from France, from Mexico, which maybe means, who knows, around, it's going to be early, isn't it, in France right now? Is it like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. or something silly? So I think I might try and do it the opposite, where I do a early morning session, and we can connect and hang out across the planet. For those of you that don't know, I'm back in lockdown in New Zealand. We've been naughty, it's true, and yeah, we're 9 a.m. Okay, so 9 a.m. That's okay for France. Maybe the UK is 8 or 7, and then Mexico, I'm not sure. But thanks for being here. I do this every Tuesday. Jump online. Who knows why I started doing it, but it's actually been a lot of fun. And it's 2 a.m. in Mexico. Okay, perfect. That's perfect time to be up chatting about music. Probably, well, you do whatever you want to do. I'm having coffee. But yeah, it's super nice being on, and I genuinely make up a title and a topic for these sessions, and I thought, let's talk about timing tonight. But in saying that, if there is absolutely anything at all that you would like to chat about, then please let me know, and we will do that, and see if we can answer some questions, see if we can brainstorm, throw some ideas around. I'm curious what you're all up to at the moment. Taylor, hi, how's it going? All the way from Christchurch. All right, we have New Zealand represented. I love it. Yeah, let me know if there's anything Let's just start with what everyone's working on, what's happening. I'm currently working on I've been working on it for ages, to be honest, and I go off and on of working on it and not working on it and all that sort of stuff. But it's a little version of I think what it's called. We Don't Talk Anymore, but not what I was playing you last week talking about looping. It's the the classic Cliff Richard version. Yeah, a little bit different than what everyone's used to with the we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore like we used to do. We don't laugh anymore. So it looks like it's just me at the moment that's working on anything, but that's fine. I can only see you or hear you if you type things into the chat. So you absolutely don't have to. Obviously, you might be driving with me on in the background because you just like the sound of my voice. No. Chrono, trying to figure out the VL3 videos. No, thanks, man. Cool. Yeah, there is a lot going on, and Matt, yes, I am looping blind at the moment with my VoiceLive 3. I have got it plugged in here. I've only got this camera running tonight, but let's see if I don't unplug it by doing this. This is currently my VoiceLive 3. I know it's not super clear, but that is just a completely blue screen, which doesn't change. It doesn't change at all, no matter what I do at the moment. But as you will have seen on some of the videos, I have the little tools, the screws, but they're over in a little storage unit at the moment. So yeah, I will get them and do another clean out and reset that. It's the SD card that's just typically not sitting right. So it should be back up and running. In the meantime, it is, I imagine what the screen might say and just loop based on that, which is really fun. No, it's honestly, Matt, it's happened at a few gigs and I've just had to carry on with it. So you kind of go back to basics, and I go back to basics. That's it. Smash that like button. What should we do? The Peter McKinnon thing, like smash it if that's something you're into. I haven't been watching enough of his videos for a long time, but he helped me out a lot with sorting this video stuff and trying to have things look nice for you so that this is useful and not some dark screen where you're trying to work out what's going on. But yeah, I do think the blue screen thing, coming back to looping and that sort of thing, I actually watched some of Ed Sheeran's looping videos recently, and the thing that I like is in some ways, and feel free to give me shit for saying this, but in some ways what he does is incredibly simple, but he does it very, very well and very smoothly, amazingly executed. So, you know, and also he's worked a lot on his voice and skills more than just being a guitarist as well, in terms of rhythm and timing and all that stuff that we might talk about later. Cool. But what I get distracted a lot. What I was going to say is I've done a lot of shows with the VoiceLive 3. So there is a certain amount of autopilot that I'm not relying on what the screen says, which is really lucky because it doesn't say anything anymore. I'm going to have fun on this live, and I hope that you have fun as well. But if you're not having fun, feel free to have more fun with me tonight. Taylor, We Don't Talk Anymore. Hang on, somewhere I read you piano stuff. I'm slowly working on some modern stuff, piano, novice stuff. Taylor, are you normally on piano, keys, or guitar, or you're doing some looping as well, right? Clicking on your live stream about looping. Yeah, I'd love to know what you're doing. Christchurch, you're lucky at only level 2. For those of you not in New Zealand, we have four different levels of freedom or lack of freedom based on COVID at the moment. I'm in Auckland, which is level 3, which means we're not allowed to get too close to anyone or go and sit down in a bar and enjoy a beer. But we can have one at home, so that's fine. Um, Currently searching high and low for nice looping tutorials and waiting for my favorite looping guy to finally setting up a video course. I'm just going to be bold and say that, is that me? Am I your favorite looping guy? I am in the process, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, of setting up a course. It is happening. There's two things that are happening. One is there's going to be an opportunity to work with me on some looping. We're actually going to cover some basic marketing principles and things as well. We're going to talk a little bit about video because it's super important. And like I mentioned before, if you were watching this and it was super dark and you couldn't see me, you couldn't hear me, it would just make it tough. But I'm also, and my very first project is I'm putting together an ebook with everything I know about looping, or as much as I can think of. But I've got a bunch of things in there. So if there's anything particular you would like included, feel free to message me over the next week or so with any of those thoughts that you want included. And I will try and get it in there. And the challenge for me is, how do I make this really, really useful in a book format, where normally I'm coming to you via video and doing that sort of thing, so you can actually hear and see what I'm doing. So some of those things could be interesting, but I also think I have the time to write out nicely and really create some really valuable content that you can just have on a laptop, on a phone, to read through when maybe you're not necessarily wanting to watch and listen and have a guitar handy. So a couple of projects that are going to be happening. Nice. Piano keys, guitarish or guitarist, or a guitarist. That could be a possibility. Is the VL3 enough for recording an acoustic guitar and voice? Chrono, yes, it is. I use the outputs into the Zoom L8 and record via that at the moment. You can use the USB out into the laptop and record direct from that. There's a few people that do that. What I would suggest with it is that you use it to record. If you get a really nice mix from it, then that's your recording's ready to go. You can upload that, match it with video, that sort of thing. I have a friend that does that. He literally records straight out of the back of the Voice Live 3 onto a little USB stick, and that's his audio. And then he matches it up with video from gigs. He's was running at least a GoPro, and just had that running at all the shows, so that he could capture if there was a really cool moment, if there was this, that, and the other. He had both pretty good audio. He's got a really nice mix and everything set up well, and then combine the two to be able to share that on for a lot of his social media stuff. So super good way to go, and it's just done, so that's cool. Can kind of play the guitar equals guitarish. Nice. I think I'm gonna be like 100 years old and still feel like I'm guitar-ish. So there we go. It's a fun journey and a fun process, playing a bunch of things. So thrilled for this ebook. Zanati, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm really looking forward to it, and I mapped out a lot and started working towards a video course, which will be happening as well. And it just started making more sense that I actually write everything down first and have it there. It's like, right, cool. Everyone can digest that at their own pace, and there will be a higher cost for working with me directly as part of a video course where we're going to walk through the process of basically from anyone getting started to looping to actually developing a bunch of the skills you need along the way. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just talk a little bit about timing because it seems to be coming up in messages a bunch of times. So cool. Specify. Hey, I tried your way to make a drum sound on guitar, but it doesn't sound as nice as you. Do you have a special effect for any EQ on the VO3, particularly for the kick? I don't particularly. I do use the Boss OC3 pedal. You'll notice in a lot of my videos that the Boss OC3 is running, and I do use that. I also... There is, if you noticed on the last little version of Dancing in the Moonlight, I don't know if it showed up actually on video. I have a little sub and then my AER amp. And so there is a little bit of the room audio, which has a nice bottom end to it from the sub. If you listen to this guitar sound right now, there's not a lot of bottom end, and I'm presuming you're probably watching on a laptop or on a phone or something for this live session. So if that's the case, then there's going to be even less bottom end unless you have headphones in or something. But there's a couple of ways I do the bass, and I suggest experimenting with a hit on the guitar around the saddle, around the bridge there, because you're going to hear from me doing this. There's a nice. There's a bit of change even as I move further down from being right over that saddle there. So you can hear somewhere there it gets to a deeper sound. And for me, it's absolutely not perfect every time. Sometimes I frustrate myself because for that kick, I don't get on my first loop a really deep sound. In which case I overdub another hit onto my loop to fill out my mistake, shall we say. But this is what I've ended up doing a lot now. I used to loop, and there's I think there's some videos online with my this is stolen from a friend, Lee Gray. If you want to go and check out some of his looping videos, I used to do this as well, just copying from him with my left hand muting the strings and being able to really dig in. But it makes it harder for me to get a string slap, which I like. So okay, Charlotte, nice. Oh, cool. Okay, it's backwards, right? Charlotte Zanatti. Cool. Nice. So if you're struggling with a bass sound there, you can make changes to your settings. You can obviously increase the bass, but some guitars as well are not necessarily going to have the best pickup system. You know, whether that's a mic, whether that's under the saddle there. So you're going to get different results from every single guitar. So if it works for you, you can have a setting specifically preset saved for doing your kick drum sound, and use that. It could be a good option. You could do something like using the Voice Live, the OC3, like I do as well, or you could on your mixer literally kind of, we'll see what shift this makes, but dial up the bass. And if we take this down, you'll notice that now there's no bottom end. I'm still doing the same thing, but there's no bottom end on the mixer. I'm changing it. So there's a few options there. That you can play around with. But getting to this little timing technique, in the meantime, feel free to, add in various questions, whatever your thoughts are, whatever's on your mind. But it's something that I started very badly learning to drum, and yes, awful student. I kept playing the guitar instead. But nice. Teamwork there in the chat. I like it. But one of the best things that my drummer said to me in terms of practicing was to sing the phrase as you're doing it. Now, if you while you're looping, if you record your vocal as well, this might not work so well, but it can be a great practice tool. And we got some nice ringing going on, going back to old school styles. But if you actually sing, what I find it shifts in me is it takes it out of me thinking too much. And I tend to start feeling, just going. And I guess there's probably someone that will come up and say, like, right, this is actually the science of how this works. But to me, there's more of me involved in feeling that groove by singing as well, and just being and the worst thing that I find happens is when people are like, when you're thinking, okay, I've got to get this right. Because if you're thinking like, okay, here we go, I'm going to start my loop. It's like, it's never going to work out very well. So there's a video I did, which one of the tips I put in it was literally trust yourself. Okay, so, and that's a combination of practice. You want to have done it before. Hopefully it's not you. You're not on stage just doing like, hey, let's try this today. Although that can be fun, and I am guilty of that. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's an interesting process. I'm curious for those of you that try it. Actually, I'm curious, Matt, seeing as you're on, do you, when you're setting up a loop, do you have a standard first loop that you're running to, be it rhythm, guitar, bass, anything like that? I think yours vary, but I'm curious. John, how's it going? You're from France as well. Awesome. Good morning. What kind of mode do you use in your solo or improv? Actually, I saw your question the other day, and I am awful with modes. I believe it's Dorian mode, but I make them up. So I could be absolutely wrong. I will respond to your message from on the I did see it as a comment, so I will respond to it. I'm basically playing, I think it was for the Englishman in New York video. I'm basically playing an A natural minor scale, just So I hope that helps, John. I will actually look it up because honestly, I really do make up different names of modes, and I'll make sure I actually give you the right one. Okay, just going back to this timing thing, Matt. I'll generally keep it short and rhythmic, often a bit of beatbox or guitar percussion, something that is easy to lock into for the next overdub. Cool, love it. That's probably what you'll hear from most people that are looping really well, like Matt. I basically would say I do the same thing. And the example that I will use of me doing the opposite of this is recording Roxanne. A long time ago, but that's my loop. That was my loop. I would record that first. Now, it's, what are we, 8 bars? So over 8 bars, especially if you start thinking, oh, I gotta keep in time. Am I speeding up? Am I slowing down? Okay. It will go out of time if you're thinking that. If you lock into the groove, and with practice, you can get it. But in a live scenario, there's just much more room to shift your tempo. Or if you're just starting the song, maybe haven't quite settled into the tempo you were hoping to start at, and so you've sped up or you've slowed down. You realized you were kind of pushing yourself a little bit too fast. Yeah, John, I just thought about it. I talk a little bit about the improvisation of that in 2 videos. One was a video I did, 5 things to learn during lockdown, where I talked about using arpeggios. So from Englishman in New York, in A minor, if you know the chords of A minor, you can start to use them as arpeggios. For your improvisation. So you might find some use out of that. So I'm jumping from thing to thing here, but going back to the timing thing, I would love to hear from some of you if you test it out, if you are looping, if you try using Matt's advice, try something short that is reasonably simple for you as well. Don't have your first loop be the most challenging part of your loop. So if actually that's for Dancing in the Moonlight, I'm just doing, that's my first loop. It's probably the simplest thing. And then everything locks into that. So then I'd hit the bass, but it's all based on that very first based very much on that first, just that short rhythm. Oh yeah, Dancing in the Moonlight. We can get it almost every night when that moon is big and bright. It's a supernatural delight. Yeah, I was reading comments in this YouTube live, yeah. Right. So I never get distracted. Have you noticed? Cool. Yeah, always impressed by loops that begin the Roxanne way. It sounds so much. Yeah, it does. It sounds supernatural. Ha! It's a supernatural delight. I'm amused by very simple things. Have you noticed? Classic. Right. There is a nice thing. I enjoy not noticing when someone starts a loop, which is cool, especially if you're like, oh yeah, cool. It's maybe just an acoustic tune. So yeah, nice. Yeah, look. I love that you're from France as well. Specify. I think I've got that right. Yeah, look. Starting with the drum is going to make it easier to lock into timing if that's an issue for you, if it's a challenge. Starting with the shortest, most simplest option. Sorry, my guitar disappears behind my laptop. It's a secret. What am I doing? So let's hope I'm on the right screen here. Nope, that was definitely not. That was fun. But that can be solved. Blue screen, mystery. Okay. So you could absolutely start. And if I start with the chords, I tend to exaggerate the slap. Specifically in a live setting, because there's that high sound that tends to cut through the mix if I haven't got the greatest fold back coming back at me. So I would be you can hear that slap and start my loop. So now I've got a little groove that's there, and then like you say, you could put these in any order. I could leave the rhythm out for a while. And just add in the Chrono, thanks. Have a great sleep in Mexico, my friend. Thanks for jumping on. And then you can add the groove later. And I can hear my voice coming in a bit. But it does give you the option to mix up the groove rather than the version I recorded the other day, right? Is that same groove through the whole thing. So recording a longer part first does give you a nice little option to just mix up what's happening in the loop. Like, what did I do? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Grimsh, how's it going? Whee. Nice to see you on here. I am. This is the fun of not being able to see the pedal, right, man? Yeah. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Hey, thanks everybody. I really appreciate your those, a bunch of you shared it around, and I got some super nice comments on that last little recording, that cover. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys and girls sharing that around and sharing the love. If you don't comment, I have no idea what you're thinking. I appreciate it, and it does motivate me to be like, okay, I actually need to record a bunch of my arrangements of stuff or tunes or different versions. So it's nice. Cool. My coffee's going cold, but what's been happening in the world, team? I'm basically gonna have coffee and chat with you if you message at this point. So which can absolutely, please feel free to copy, steal any of the covers, any of my arrangements of anything. If there's something, it's an honor to me if you're like, hey, that's cool, I would like to copy it. And please absolutely do. What happens is I've done that for other people where I've seen something, and I think I mentioned it on last week's Ask Me Anything. I did a reaction video on Carl Wapner, cool looping artist, cool artist with his original stuff too. And from watching it, I got an idea which I now am incorporating into my looping. So, please do. Taylor, cheers. Got the coffee. You're watching TV and me. Or am I on your TV? Because I was like, I can't even concentrate on whatever I'm doing in this Ask Me Anything in this live session. So if you can do that, you're way ahead of me. Let's throw it out there. Any interesting covers that you would like to see me do? Up for a challenge, maybe. Excluding Bohemian Rhapsody, just putting it out there. John. Oh, thanks, man. Feel free to reach out if I can help or if you get stuck on something. John, there is a version where I talk about how to do English and Men in New York. So hopefully that helps you. Maybe you've already been working through that. Taylor, you're a ninja. You're watching both. I feel like you're watching both me and TV, having a coffee and practicing piano with your other hand. That'd be amazing. Oh, I love it. Hey, Sean. Cheers. We're both really starting the day. No, I'm kidding. I've been up all day. But I do like coffee. Probably too much. Okay, Star Wars Suite. I don't know it at all. We'll make a note. Star Wars Suite. That's what I'm learning at the moment. Nice. A Beatles song. Yeah, we can do a Beatles song. Definitely. I should do a Beatles tune or three. Well, I mean, I do. I should film them and things like that. 3 things is my limit. Oh, Jackson Browne. I haven't. Trying to think. I used to. Oh, it's going to be a challenge. I used to do a. When I say I used to do a cover, I used to play guitar along with a friend that did a couple of Jackson Browne tunes, and I would always be like, "What are we doing?" Yeah, absolutely. We were very professional. Mm-hmm. Star Wars Suite is classical, but you could do something. I'm sure. Sure, you could do some classical stuff. Who's it by? I'm gonna look it up. It's all right. Come together. Actually, again, I need in fact, I'm going to do it when we're out of level 3, when we're out of our lockdown. I'm going to bring on a couple of cool looping artists that are based here in Auckland. I'm going to just drag them. I'm going to rope them in and tell them they have to come online. Yeah, nice. Billie Jean by Civil Wars is a cool version I love her voice, especially. Very, very cool. It's literally the Star Wars theme music. Okay, cool. Nice. There we go. That's my, it's going to be my challenge. Shall I just binge watch all the Star Wars films as like preparation for this? Okay. Grimsh, I like this. A suggestion would be, how deep is your love in a Frusciante David way? That's an interesting proposition, definitely. It's a great tune. I've been thinking as well, because I'm Stephen, I don't think is on tonight, but I promised a long time ago I would do a video on the L8 and using it as an audio interface all on its own. So it has a metronome built in. You can punch in and out recording and record on individual tracks. So maybe I'll play around with doing that. But I found the other day, and Matt, this is part of your. I'm just proposing things for you now. Part of your, what's it called? Guardians of the Galaxy mixtape album covers that you're doing. Yeah. The I'm not in love, so don't forget it. Where does it go? I should remember how to play it first. Dun, dun. So don't forget it. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. So if I call you, don't make a fuss. Don't tell your friends about the three of us. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Blinding Lights from the Weekend. Nice. That's it. I need to check out the number one hits in France right now, I think. And we'll go from there. But David Bowie, any song. Perfect. Okay, I have plenty of suggestions. This is perfect. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna sign out, team. Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you all. And just as I disappear, I do want to mention that I do have a Patreon community. If you want to be involved, it is literally, you can contribute anything at all to be part of that. And it is something that I'm going to spend a little bit more time. I have kept it pretty under wraps. It's not on the end of most videos. It's not on the end of all of that stuff. But if you do want to be a part of it, you'll know if you want to be a part of it or not, and if you do, that'd be rad. There's a few little extra bits and pieces on there, and I get the opportunity to actually have some Zoom chats from time to time where we can actually chat rather than these sessions where I make you type everything into the chat box. Nice. A French song that would be excellent as well. Beyond the Frère Jacques, dormez-vous. I think that's the only French I know. So, yeah, I will check it out. But thanks all for being on. Appreciate you, and I will keep working on actually doing some videos, uploading them, playing around, and getting this ebook all happening, and the live course happening as well. So appreciate you all being here. Have a fantastic day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. And we may see you again next Tuesday. Cheers, everybody.